This is Prince, a boa constrictor. He is the biggest snake that I have and the heaviest and, surprise, the youngest. He is the youngest snake that I have. Although he's massively bigger than all the rest, but he's also a super friendly, gentle giant. No matter how big he has never bitten me. And he is just calm and relaxed. I mean, he's very interested in looking around and seeing what's out there, but very friendly, very, very docile. I think he's super intelligent. He's looking at these lights and he's looking at the camera and saying, what is that? Ooh, I want to go explore that. So he's flitting out his tongue. He's flickering his tongue. He's trying to smell the air with his Jacobson's organ. He's trying to figure out what's going on, what's different about today. So Prince is a boa constrictor from South America, probably from the Amazon area around Brazil or Peru or Argentina or places like that, but particularly in the Amazon. And boa constrictors are called red-tailed boas because if you notice, his body here is gray, but his tail is red. It's got kind of a different pattern. It's kind of funny. It's like most of their body, 90% of their body looks exactly the same until you get to the tail, and then it becomes just red and white. So sometimes you'll see a boa constrictor called a red-tailed boa, and actually that's a more appropriate term for them, red-tailed boa. And so Prince is my baby, believe it or not. And when he gets to be an adult, he'll be at least 6 feet, maybe more like 8 or 9 feet, bigger than me. But he is really friendly and he feeds on rats because he is too big to be feeding mice and he needs a lot of food. And what else? What else should they know about you, Prince? Let's see. He's semi-arboreal, which means that he doesn't really spend a lot of time in trees, but he would if he were out in the wild, especially younger boas and red-tailed boas like him. Younger, what they call like juvenile boa constrictors, they tend to be semi-arboreal. So you might see them, if you were out in the wild, you might see them on the ground or you might see them up in trees. And as you can clearly see, as I mentioned, his body is really fat, really heavy. And boas, boa constrictors, red-tailed boas are pretty famous for having a really thick body. Like I don't know, maybe 8, 10, 12, maybe even 12 inches wide. So someday when he gets to be an adult, he might be that thick, which means that he will be super heavy. Now, they don't get to be incredibly long. Like I said, maybe 6, 7, 8 feet, something like that. Not nearly as long as like a reticulated python, but very heavy. He could be heavier than me. He could be 200 pounds by the time he's an adult. So we'll see what happens. But Prince is really fun to take outside, and sometimes I'll put him on the grass and he likes to go exploring. I made a mistake one time. I put him up in a tree, just on a tree branch, to kind of set him down and see what he would do, and he went straight to the top, and I had to get a ladder to pull him back down because he's so good at climbing trees because he's semi-arboreal. So this is my buddy Prince, and if you're a small child, I wouldn't recommend a boa constrictor, red-tailed boa like him, because they get really big really fast. But for an adult or maybe a teenager or someone like that, they would make a great pet because, as you can see, he's super friendly. He's like a little dog. So say hi, Prince. Hi.